ready, guys? Okay, so you have been talking about geometry. You've learned about geometry this year. And what is geometry? What's geometry? Shapes. Okay, what are some of the things you learned about shapes or that you're learning about shapes, Riley?
It's like their angles.
Okay, shapes. Some shapes have, do all shapes have angles?
No.
Okay. When does a shape not have an angle? What do you think? What shapes don't have angles?
A circle.
A circle doesn't have angles. Very good. All right, so when we look at what we're going to be doing today with our task, I'm going to ask you this question. This is our essential question. Do shapes always have to look the same way?
No.
Okay, no, we know that. But what if I said, do all rectangles look the same way?
No.
Okay. Do all squares look the same way?
No.
Really? They do? Yes. Thumbs up if you think all squares look exactly the same. Thumbs down if you think, no, all squares don't look the same. And if you're not sure, shake it off in the middle. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, we're going to find out. How about that? All right, so you guys have been talking about shapes. We've got our basic two-dimensional shapes, right? Okay. How are these shapes? How can you tell the difference between these shapes? Why is this one a pentagon and that one's a triangle? What's the difference? Yes, ma'am?
They have different sides and angles.
Different sides and angles. What else? What's different? How do I know? Why is there a 5 written there? And a 6 written there? What does that mean?
Because they have 5 sides.
Okay, 5-sided shape is called a what?
Pentagon.
Very good, a pentagon. A 3-sided shape is called a
triangle.
Very good. Okay, so those are our basic 2D shapes here. All right, you've talked about polygons. What is a polygon? Abby?
It has 2 pairs of equal.
Okay, it could have 2 sets of equal sides. Okay. What are you thinking? What do you think?
2 sides of parallel sides.
2 sides are parallel. Okay. Y'all keep saying parallel, don't you?
Congruent.
Okay, congruent could be part of that. What is this word? Parallelogram. Now, what's a parallelogram? Who thinks they know? What's a parallelogram? Look at it. There's a picture here. This has what, Abby?
2 pairs of equal,
Parallel sides. Very good. 2 sets of parallel sides. A polygon is a 2D shape that is open or closed? Closed and has what kind of sides? Straight sides. Okay, so would a circle be considered a polygon?
No.
Tell me why, Ricky. Why is a circle not a polygon?
Because a polygon is it has sides.
Sides. So why isn't a circle one?
Because it can't be curved.
Okay, so a circle doesn't have any straight sides, does it? Okay, very good. All right, so here are some examples of polygons, and here are some non-examples of polygons. Very good. So like that heart there. It's not a polygon. Okay, so you've talked about things like number of angles in a shape, number of sides in a shape. You've talked about congruent sides. Someone mentioned congruent a few minutes ago. You guys, your vocabulary for geometry is pretty good? I think so. I think so. All right. Also, you learned about quadrilaterals. Now, who can tell me a little something about quadrilaterals? Tell me, Riley, what do you know about a quadrilateral?
They have 4 sides.
4 sides. There is an awesome anchor chart in the back of the room that helps us to classify or categorize those quadrilaterals. Is there only one type of quadrilateral? No, there are several. There are several. Okay, so what are some of the types of quadrilaterals? What are some of the can you tell me a type of quadrilateral? A square. Okay, what makes a square a square? Come on up here and let's make a square as we talk about this. Come on up. All right. So here's what we're going to do. What's your name? Tell me your name again.
Violetta.
All right, Violetta. Stand to the side so everybody can see. Scooch over just a little bit. All right, so you're going to drag. So you pick one. You're going to drag a rubber band up. You pick one. Any color. Okay. We're going to make a square, all right? So what do we do next? How many sides does it have?
4.
Okay, so do you need another one? This is one side.
Yes.
Okay, so pull another one up there. All right, good job. All right. Now let me show you. Go ahead. Does it need another one? So that's 2 sides. So let me show you how to do it. You're going to pull it up here, and then you're going to pull it over, just like you do with your rubber bands. Okay, what do you do next?
Another one?
Okay. All right, step to the side so they can see. All right, did she do a good job?
Yes.
All right, so tell me how you know that's a square.
Because it has 4 equal sides.
4 equal sides. Can you tell them?
Because it has 4 equal sides.
Very good. All right, thank you, sweetheart. Very good. All right, so that's one type of quadrilateral. What's another type of quadrilateral? Jalen? Well, yes, ma'am.
Another type of quadrilateral is a rectangle.
All right, come up and let's look at a rectangle. All right, so everybody, what should you be thinking about? Okay, be thinking of another one. Use any color. And you can't. Okay, go ahead. Okay. And if you want this one to keep going, you can pull it that way. Look at there. All right. How'd she do?
Good.
All right. So tell us what makes that a rectangle.
Because it has, not all sides are equal,
Okay.
but it has 2 sides are equal in length.
Okay. So each set of.
Sides are equal.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Skip back that way just a little bit. What if I did this, boys and girls? Okay. So I took her rectangle and I changed it a little bit, didn't I? And I heard somebody say that's a square. Is it still a rectangle?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because a square can be a rectangle.
Because a square can be a rectangle. A square is a type of rectangle, isn't it? Because it has what?
4 sides.
4 sides and
2 sets of parallel.
2 sets of parallel lines and 4 right angles. Good job, guys. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to now look at our, this is our task sheet. Our task today is called Can You Find It? You're going to be an investigator, and you're going to create some things too, okay? The shapes we just looked at were the basic shapes, okay? So when we talk about quadrilaterals, do they all look the same? We talked about that. No, okay? So what you're going to do, your job is, during your work time, is you are going to find the shapes, as many shapes as you can that are listed in the box up here. So we've got what? Rectangle and square. That, you think that'll be easy or hard?
Easy.
Probably easy. Then you've got to create a what? Triangle, hexagon, and pentagon. Now what if you get confused and you forget what a pentagon looks like? Okay. There's some anchor charts you can refer to, right? Okay. So then you're also going to do this part. It says a quadrilateral that does not look like a rectangle or square. Huh. A quadrilateral that does not look like a rectangle or square. If you need a little help, where might you go to find that?
The anchor chart.
The anchor chart there? Where else? It said quadrilateral. Yes, the one in the back also. Okay? All right. You're going to make a trapezoid, a rhombus, and then a different looking trapezoid. So you've made a trapezoid here, then you've got to make a different looking trapezoid, and also a different looking hexagon. All right. So you're going to go back to your tables in just a second. You have pattern blocks on your tables just in case you need help looking at what a shape might look like. But your pattern blocks are pretty basic shapes, right?
Yep.
So are they going to help you when you look at the different types of things?
No.
Probably not. Okay. You have crayons on your table. That's what you're going to draw on your grid. So let me ask you something. Can you Come here, Maddie. Show me what to do.
So we can write on top of it.
Oh, look at you. All right, so if it said circle, can I do a circle on this? No. I've got to stay on the lines. There's tons of lines on here, aren't there? Uh-oh. Okay. So if I did a rectangle, I could easily do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But you might turn it a different way. Okay? So I need to quit talking, don't I? I don't need to tell you anything else, do I? All right. Can you talk with the people at your table to try to help you out?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. So I want everybody to go back to their seats, and I'm going to bring you your task sheets. And don't forget to put your name on your task sheets. See that? There you go. Okay, here you go.
Look at these crowds. They get their crowds.
All right, here you go.
Ooh, you know what I would drive?
All right, you ready? Let's see what you can do.
So, overlay. That's what I would say. What does that mean? You said like. They look so dry.
All right, so where are you going to start? Oh, there we go.
A rectangle?
Okay, show me what you can do with that.
Wait, doing it? Oh.
All right. Violetta, right? All right, guys, can everybody give me a timeout right quick?
Yes, ma'am.
One thing that might be helpful, I was just watching Violetta make her first rectangle, and she made something similar to this, and I think her color is purple, okay? Mine's red. So up here, I might circle rectangle in the same color, just so when I look at your papers in a few minutes, I'll know which shape you were drawing, okay? So if you draw a blue square, come up here and circle square with the blue crayon, okay? Maddie, do you have a question? Okay.
You gave us a hint, by the way.
I know.
I love this color.
Okay, so did you do what?
I forgot.
There we go. Thank you. Now, what I'm going to be looking for, I want to see if you can make something different than the people at your table. Okay? Try to find those different shapes. Try to make your shape different than the others. Okay?
Do we have to go across the line?
You have to stay on the lines. Okay? On the lines.
No, a square. I thought it was a triangle. A square.
All right, remember to circle them with those colors so we'll know what you did, okay? All right, what are you going to do next? Okay. What do you think? You don't know? You're going to skip that one and come back to it? Okay. Okay.
How am I gonna do a different square?
That's a good question. How are you going to make a square?
Oh, I have an idea. You see. She's like, just do it.
Okay. Tell me what you're working on.
What I thought of is just come down here, then you can just circle a square.
Okay. How do you know it's a square?
Because it has 4 equal sides.
4 equal sides? How can you test to make sure they're equal?
You can use some of these.
Okay. So what do you think? Didn't work out? Okay.
These are my colors.
All right, Abby, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right, what's the shape?
That's a pentagon.
How do you know it's a pentagon?
Because it has 5 sides.
Okay, very good. And tell me about this one.
That one's a triangle.
Okay, pretty. Okay. So now you're starting to get to the.
I'm on pedestal.
Okay.
I just checked it.
Okay.
I don't know how to make it. Back to what I was doing. I need the eraser.
Look, and you've got room on the back too. If you messed up, you can just put an X on it and move to another space. Okay. You don't have to erase it. Boys and girls, if you make a mistake, okay, just put an X on it and do it somewhere else. And because I gave you space on the back also if you need that, okay? And how do you know that's a pentagon?
Because it has 5 sides.
Okay, very good.
Why do I do it? I just put the crown on here.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. All right, how many sides does a hexagon have?
6.
6. Okay. What do you think you could do to think about figuring it out? Do you have anything in the pattern blocks that you could put together to help you think about what that might look like?
This.
Okay. Now you're making a what again? Hexagon. Okay. Okay. So that's the same thing, right? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Is this a hexagon? She says it looks like a triangle.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. What makes the shape a hexagon? 6 sides. Okay, so show me how many sides your shape has. Okay, what I see is you have 6 segments, so that's considered a line segment. What you did is, when you look at this amount of sides it has, you have to look at the outside. So on the outside of this shape, how many sides do you have? 3. Now there's a line down the middle, okay? But you've got to look at the outside to see how many sides it has, okay? Okay, what do you have there? Well, how many sides does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count again. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is that? Okay, so what color you need to circle your pentagon?
This is not like a hexagon. Yeah, I
All right, let's look at it.
Yeah, I messed up on this one.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't redo everything. You just do the ones you need to do, okay? All right, what's your question?
If this could be a hexagon.
Okay, so how many sides does it have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You are right. That does have 6 sides, but let's take a look at it. What do you notice about that hexagon up there in the sides? How it's shaped?
It's not they don't have most of the hexagon is the same size. And right here.
So it's kind of like what you've done here is you've taken 2 triangles and put them together like that, which wouldn't be considered a because they meet at that same point right there. Okay, so what do you think? How do you think you could do it instead? Oh, do what you were doing. Do what you were doing. but we might have to turn it a little bit. See if you could turn it a little, make it fit somewhere. I want you to think about it, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me a hint where a square is?
A hint where a square is. Well, tell me what you know about a square.
It has 4 sides.
Is that all?
No.
What else?
It has 4 angles.
4 sides, 4 angles. What else does it have?
It has.
Is there anything special about those sides?
They're equal. They're all equal.
Equal what?
Sides.
What about the sides is equal? Come on, there's a word I'm looking for. They have the same.
Angles?
Yes, but what about the sides?
They're parallel.
They are. The 2 on the top and the 2 on the sides are parallel to each other, yes. What about the sides in a square are the same, though? The color of the sides?
No.
Not necessarily. The length of the sides is the same, right? Okay. All right. If you can't figure that one out, what could you do?
Skip it.
Skip it, good girl.
I need help finding sideways.
Maybe.
I need help finding a trapezoid.
Okay. Where can you look in the room to figure out what a trapezoid looks like? Okay.
Right here. Oh yeah, that's the trapezoid right there.
That's one type of trapezoid. What's one type? All right, boys and girls, I'm going to give you about 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. It's okay if it's hard. That's what we're doing. We're just trying it out to see what we can do. On the lines, you can make it fit. Okay.
Okay, so far I have 1 square. I'm not supposed to do all the first 2 squares done. I found
All right, tell me about that shape you're making right there. What is
This
that?
is the quadrilateral that does not look like a rectangle or square.
Okay, and why does that not look like a rectangle or square? How do you know?
Because it's a parallelogram,
It is.
and because it has 4 sides.
Okay. It kind of looks like a rectangle to me, though. Why could it not be a rectangle? How is that different than a rectangle?
Because it's tilted.
Okay, it's tilted. So what does that tell you about a rectangle then? How does a rectangle have to be?
Straight or like standing up.
Okay. Can you tell me about the angles of a rectangle?
They're right angles.
Right angles. What are the angles like in this shape?
I don't know if they're obtuse
Okay.
or cute.
Okay, so that one looks obtuse, yes, and that one to me is small, so what is that one?
Acute.
Acute. So are they right angles?
No.
No. Very good. So that's why that cannot be a
Rectangle or
very
square.
good. Very good, very good. All right, Ricky, how we doing, buddy?
Well, I can't find a hexagon.
Okay. How many sides does a hexagon have?
6.
So what are you using here to help you figure that out? Are you using any? Okay, is that your hexagon? Okay.
I'm trying to figure out where it can fit at.
Okay. Now, is it necessarily going to be that same exact size?
No.
Maybe not, but that helps you a little bit, right? Okay. Do all hexagons have to look like that?
No.
No.
So it can just have like 6 sides?
Has to have 6 sides. You're right. Are all these sides the same length in this hexagon?
Yeah.
Yes. But do all hexagons have to have all the sides the same length? No, that's why they want you to try to make a different looking hexagon. So you can make a regular hexagon or you can make a different looking one, okay? Yes, ma'am.
So for the quadrilateral, it is not like a traditional quadrilateral. I did a trapezoid.
But is it a quadrilateral that doesn't look like a rectangle or square?
Yeah.
Then you got it right. Good job.
You have to do a translate again.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. All right, about 2 more minutes. All right, let me see what you've done.
Pentagon.
Can you tell me about this shape?
It's a hexagon.
Hexagon, how do you know? Five sides, are you sure? Count them with me.
What color is that? 2.
Keep going.
Oh, did it?
Kind of. 5, 6. Okay, 6. So you made a 6-sided figure, which is a hexagon. Can you think of a different way? Do all hexagons look like that?
No.
No. Okay. Is there another way it could look?
Yes.
Yeah. You gonna try that down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I need everybody to finish the shape that you're currently working on. Okay, and if you're at a stopping point, that's awesome. And then I'm going to give you 30 seconds to put the crayons back in the boxes.
30 meow. 30 meow. Or 30.
30 seconds.
We need 30 seconds to put the crayons back in the boxes. That's so hard.
That's okay. It's okay. We're just practicing. You'll put the crayons back in for me. I would appreciate it. And also, please put the pattern blocks back in the bowls.
Did you hear what I said?
All right. When you're finished, you can go to the carpet. Take your papers with you, please. All right. When you're all cleaned up, you can take your paper and go to sit on the rug, okay? Take your paper to the rug. All right. When y'all got everything cleaned up, I need you to take your papers to the rug,
I
okay?
got the hexagons. Finally.
Okay, there's another box too for crayons. All right, when you're finished, you can take your paper and go to the rug. Girls, you can go to the rug. All right. Can you sit to where you can see the board very good? Thank you so much. Abby, will you come up here for me, please?
What happened?
It's the Elmo. We're going to look at something. All right, I'm going to use Abby for an example. That's okay. Everybody in here messed up. Did everybody mess up on something? Yes, we all messed up. Okay, Riley, you want to have a seat for me, please? Ricky, thank you for joining us. All right. I just wanted to look at a couple of shapes on Abby's paper, and then I'll call somebody up also, okay? So let's look at Abby's paper. Let me focus it just a little bit. All right, does everybody see that? All right, can everybody in the back see? You ready? All right, so let's just look at a few of Abby's shapes, okay? Do you see where Abby made a mistake here? Just put an X on it and move on, right? Okay, so Abby, can you tell us a little bit about this pink shape here?
That one is a pentagon.
Miss McGill, will you go check that out for me? Okay, tell me again what this is.
That one's a pentagon.
It's a pentagon, and how do you know that it's a pentagon?
Because it has 5.
Okay. Has 5 sides, all right. Look at those of you who were able to make a pentagon, look at your shape. Does your pentagon look just like Abby's pentagon?
No.
Some do, some don't, but what do all the pentagons have?
5 sides.
5 sides. Okay, very good. All right, and then Abby, I want you to also tell me about this black shape there. What is that? Can you look back on your paper? I didn't pull it down.
That one was supposed to be like a quadrilateral that didn't look like a rectangle or a square.
Okay, a quadrilateral that does not look like a rectangle or a square. So how do you know that yours is correct there, Abby?
Because it has 4 sides and a quadrilateral has 4 sides.
Okay. How many of you were able to get to the part to where you made a quadrilateral that did not look like a rectangle or a square? Does yours look exactly like Abby's quadrilateral? No. So what does that tell you about quadrilaterals?
That it can be different shapes.
They can be lots of different shapes. Very good. Okay. Thank you, Abby, very much. All right. If you'll come on up. Thank you, ma'am. Come on up. All right. I want you to tell us about your blue shape there. What is that shape?
It's a rectangle.
Okay, a rectangle. I want you to look at your rectangle on your paper. I see a couple of rectangles. Yours looks just like this rectangle, doesn't it? Different color, but same thing. How many of you have the exact same rectangle? Okay. So how do you know this is a rectangle?
Because it has it has right angles.
How many?
2.
Okay. Tell me where those 2 right angles are.
They're right here and right here.
Okay, so this is a right angle. What about this one?
Yes.
Yes, so that's 1, 2,
3, 4.
3, 4. Very good. So 4 right angles. What else do we know about it? What makes it a rectangle?
It has 2 sets of parallel lines.
2 sets of parallel lines. Does your rectangle have 2 sets of parallel sides?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
And that all the sides are congruent.
All the sides. Okay. Are all your sides congruent? Is the length of this side the same as the length of this side?
No.
No. Okay. So does a rectangle have to have all congruent sides? No. Very good. But can it have all congruent sides?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, very good. I want to know who's got a rectangle that looks different than this one. Okay? Let me see your paper. All right, you come on up. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. So this rectangle's in black, right? Okay. And tell us what makes that rectangle different.
One thing that makes the rectangle different is that it's not as big as the other one. It's not as big as the other one, and it's all the sides are equal, I think.
Are they? How could you tell if they're equal or not? What could you do to find out? Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
What could you do to find out?
Basically, what I can do is like measure them.
You could measure the sides. What could you use to measure? A ruler. Could I use this piece of paper and mark how far? Yes, I could use that also. All right. I am so proud of you guys today. Hope you can have a seat, sweetheart.
Do we get to keep these?
I'm going to tell you what to do with those in just a minute, okay? So, are all shapes the same? Are all rectangles the same?
No.
Are all quadrilaterals the same?
No.
Okay. Can they be the same?
Yes.
But not always, right?
Yes.
All right. I appreciate you guys working so hard for me today. All right. If you will go back to your table, please.